I think that is one of the less visible or less obvious kind of benefits. Certainly something that a lot of students don't think about right away, but then is one of the things that they would reflect on as one of the most valuable aspects of their, involvement in project teams, once they've been involved for a little while. And so there's a number of different things that I could sort of highlight, and call out here. Chief among them would be really deep and meaningful ways to engage with our alumni. So we have very, very passionate alumni here at Cornell, which, being a new Cornellian, is something that has been really awesome to just get to know and experience in my first year here. And they have been really wonderful about, whether they were on a project team when they were here or not, their willingness to connect, to either share technical expertise, to facilitate other connections. If we have a particular, technology that the students are interested in learning about or in trying out, or if they're, looking for expertise in a particular area, or they're interested in, learning more about, something that's happening in a particular industry sector, our alumni are really, really fantastic, just connectors for all of that. And there's so many different ways that they engage with the alumni. Our Engineering Alumni Association interacts with them frequently. There's a number of different, events, reunions and things where we will have opportunities for project teams to share, what they're working on and interact with alumni. And there's some really, there's some casual interactions that come out of that, but there's some really deep and meaningful connections and things that are really useful for what the teams are working on that come out of that, which is really cool to see. And certainly for the students who were on project teams when they were here, I probably know some of our more recent alums equally as well as how I know some of our current students, because they're just, in a really great way, continue to be great supporters and resources. I mean, I've been here, I'm closing in on the end of my first year here, and some of our recent alums have been, some of the most useful folks in helping me just learn about the program and understand the history of project teams at Cornell and how things have been done and what some of their hopes are, for the future. So that is one I would definitely highlight. We have a lot of involvement and engagement with corporate and industry partners as well. Some of that is through sponsorship. We do have teams that do corporate and industry, fundraising or get donations in kind, which is wonderful, for some of the materials or components that they're working on. But again, I think similar to what I said about alumni, it goes so much deeper than that. So we have corporate and industry partners who, they'll let the students demo a particular software platform, but they will provide educational and technical support for them to make the most out of that, tool that they're learning how to use. They will come, if they're coming and recruiting on campus, will often also do additional interactions with the project teams, just because they know that the team-based experience, project-based experience that they're getting translates so well to the situation, at a company, right? So these are students that they are often particularly interested in recruiting, because they know that they have some of this valuable project management and team-based work experience. I would say one of the other things that I will highlight is, I mentioned before that many of our teams participate in competitions, and certainly there is a very competitive spirit at those competitions, but there's also this wonderful, just collegial, community that happens, and so much really valuable networking that happens there. So for the students who are on teams that are participating in competitions, one of the most valuable aspects of participating in those competitions is meeting all the students and all the faculty advisors from all these other schools, across the country, around the world in some cases, who are working on tackling the same challenge. And it can be inspiring for them technically. It's wonderful networking. It starts to, again, sort of mimic, maybe hopefully what many of us experience as professionals, but you get to know other people that are at other institutions, other companies in your field. And so you get to know other people who kind of share your passions and also share the same challenges, and you can sort of troubleshoot together. So I think that is, I think that is pretty, I think that's pretty rare for college students. And I think that's a really kind of special aspect of participating on the teams, is they do start to grow that network, you know, beyond just the parameters of what's at Cornell in a really cool way.